It was November of 2020. I was in the middle of an online class, and I turned down the volume on my school iPad, letting the sound of the cutscene drown out what my teacher was saying. I don't remember what class that was, what teacher taught it, or what we were learning that week. What I do remember was watching a gold-clad elite pleading his case before a theocratic council of so-called prophets, and his branding with the mark of shame.
Noble prophet of truth, this has gone on long enough. Make an example of this bungler. The council demands it.
You are one of our most treasured instruments. Long have you led your fleet with honor and distinction, but your inability to safeguard Halo was a colossal failure.
Nay, it was heresy.
This is my first memory of Halo 2, what I consider to be the greatest game of all time. Following the breakout success of Halo Combat Evolved, the 2001 first-person shooter developed by Bungie and published by Microsoft on its new Xbox home console, its sequel, Halo 2, began development in 2002. Development was extremely troubled, with the developers being extremely overambitious, an unwise amount of development time being devoted to a 2003 E3 demo, and numerous other issues, leaving the game in a very primitive state just 8 months before its release. Around a third of the game was cut, and the development team had to undergo nightmarish crunch to finish the game before launch. But, on November 9th, 2004, the game was released to the public, setting the record for the fastest selling piece of media of all time up to that point.
Biggest retail launch in entertainment history.
Dozens of grown men and probably about 3 women have crawled out of their parents' basements tonight to be first in line to buy the new video game Halo 2.
Video gamers across the country are anxiously awaiting the midnight release of a game called Halo 2.
45 minutes and counting for Halo 2 to go on sale.
The line right now is probably about 100 yards long.
It is the most anticipated game in entertainment history.
Despite its developmental troubles, when Halo 2 released, it revolutionized online gaming, literally inventing matchmaking and helping to popularize Xbox Live. But more importantly for my purposes, it featured a dual perspective story that many fans consider the best in the series. Before high school, I didn't play very many video games. My experience was limited to Minecraft, Plants vs. Zombies, Team Fortress 2, and a couple other games, most of which didn't feature stories. The most complicated gaming story I had experienced at that point was probably LEGO Batman 3. Halo CE wasn't much different. The plot was pretty much just set dressing, an excuse to kill aliens. You were a Spartan super soldier. Humanity was at war against an alien empire called the Covenant, and you needed to stop them from firing the Halo ring, a super weapon which would wipe out all life in the galaxy. Halo CE's story wasn't groundbreaking, but Halo 2's was. The moment I booted up the game, I was met with an incredible cinematic shot of a Covenant cruiser passing by the destroyed Halo ring from the previous game. I watched as an alien, an elite known as the Arbiter, explained the destruction of Halo to a council of an alien race called the Prophets, the leaders of the Covenant. The cinematic continued, with my perspective shifting between the Master Chief, the player character from Halo CE, being honored for his actions on Halo, and the elite being tried and then branded for his. That cutscene showed me that Halo 2 was going to be different from the other games I had played. I can't talk about everything that makes this game so special to me in one video, so for now, I just want to focus on one aspect which I loved: the story of the Arbiter. The biggest change from Halo CE to Halo 2 was the expansion of the Covenant. In the first game, the Covenant were an alien threat. They didn't speak English except for the grunts, and their goal was very surface level, the destruction of the human race. Although there were hints of their religious nature throughout the game, it was more flavor than anything else. Halo 2 made the Covenant real. You saw their inner workings, their worship of ancient Forerunner technology, and pursuit of what they called the Great Journey. The Covenant worshipped an ancient race called the Forerunners, and the technology they left behind when they fired the Halo array. The Covenant believed their disappearance was a sign of their ascension to godhood, and the Halos, or holy rings, would light the path on their great journey. Everything the Covenant had done was in accordance with this directive. Every planet glassed, and every human killed was in the pursuit of the great journey. Halo 2 shows you this religious imperative through cutscenes and gameplay. A few levels into the game, I was thrown into the boots of the Arbiter as he hunted down a heretic leader on a gas mine near the original Halo. I watched as he ignited an energy sword before I took control of him, getting to use the energy sword for the first time in the series. My mind was blown, and my amazement continued throughout the level. As you play as the Arbiter, you become immersed in the role. You come to understand the goals of the Covenant and its culture. You fight side by side with other Covenant soldiers and hear them talk about honor and their religion.
Sentinels, the holy warriors of the sacred rings. Why have they sided with these heretics?
Where are your prophets now? We'll destroy them together, Arbiter.
What happened here?
Me have bad feeling about this. You always have bad feeling. You had bad feeling about warning food nipple.
Close your jaws or I shall bind them shut.
Heretic boss. You see? You see?
Make ready. Holy flare! That was a need to remember.
The way the Covenant talk about what are new ideas to the player as already existing parts of the universe brings you into the story. You're playing as an 8-foot-tall lizard man, but the world around you feels as though it could be real. As the player, you already know the Covenant's religion is a lie, that the Halos are really weapons that destroy all sentient life in the galaxy. But playing as the Arbiter and experiencing that revelation through his eyes still leaves a lasting impact. You understand why the elites turn on the prophets, how important their history as the Prophet's honor guard was to them, as well as their need for revenge. This game was my first, and really only experience with this type of storytelling. Swapping between the Master Chief and the Arbiter between missions, being both the Chief, fighting to save humanity, but also the Arbiter, uncovering the lies of the Prophets, is a feeling that no game I've played since has captured. The bad guy's perspective being shown to someone experiencing a story is not unique, but the way the game puts you into the role of the enemy was. That experience of becoming the enemy, seeing their perspective, and participating in their journey as they realized their genocidal campaign against the human race was based on a lie, and taking control as he waged war against his deceivers, has stuck with me to this day, and really changed how I view video games as a storytelling medium. There are just some stories that work better as video games, and in my opinion, Halo 2 is a perfect example of one.
What would you have your Arbiter do?